Okay, so um, sorry about not making a video within the last couple of, I want to say, week or so. Um, I have been dealing with the coronavirus. I do not have the coronavirus, but I have definitely been dealing with it because I am a frontline person. So, um, my work schedule has been very hectic. And not only that, I have my own business, and a lot of things have been just coming up, a lot of daily activities. And most of all, I've been trying to get my prayer life together. Um, this video, I'm going to entitle um, The Aha Moment. You know, when you are in panic mode, you usually have tunnel vision, meaning that you can only see usually when you're very stressed out and you're in desperate times, you panic, you're so stressful, you don't look at what's around you, you just see the situation at hand. And when you do that and not look at and have tunnel vision, you limit yourself from the other options that are available to you. So, take for instance, this was my aha moment today. I went to the store and I'm like tripping, I'm cracking up, because a lot of people are buying toilet paper, which toilet paper is very is a necessity. I guess you can consider that, but what about the other things that are gonna last? Why are you buying so much to the point where other people are lacking? There is more than enough for everyone, so um, yeah, so when everyone's preparing and trying to stockpile and hoard, not only stockpile but hoard, meaning taking more than what is allowed, what is necessary, it's leaving and it's creating a crisis within a crisis. So that's the same thing about when you are having tunnel vision. You're just looking at the crisis at the obstacle at hand and not looking at the ripple effects. Whereas if you're more relaxed, you can see the bigger picture. And for me, I was able, to see the bigger picture. And I think that's because I've been through enough struggles in my life to see that God has provided. When I came here and, going through the process that I went through and I ended up having nothing, God still provided for me. He provided shelter, clothing, food, necessities, all that. It was very scareful, uh, it was a scary time for me because I had to rely on faith and put my faith was put to the test. But now looking at it as I went through it, I understand that that's part of growing your faith, having your faith put to the test and going through hard situations to purify your faith and your belief, And so I'm thinking of this as the same thing as I look at this whole virus. People are going and stockpiling things, but they're not really coming to the realization to say, what if, because there are people who are in this position that they're not able to stockpile. What about those people who are most of the people, most of the Americans nowadays are living check to check, or they're living on some kind of governmental assistance, social security, disability. They put all that time, social security, all that time to working, and now they're living from this check and they don't get it to a certain time. What if, things shut down by then? What happens when that happens? And yeah, and everybody's going and hoarding and doing all this, and it made me just stop and think, like, you know what? Aha. And it made me laugh because it was like my aha moment, because God provided for me before, okay? And because I am a believer and because I put my faith in God and what His Word says, when I believe in God, it's one thing to be a believer of God and then another to be a disciple. It takes work to be a disciple. A believer saying that you know that is right, but discipleship actually means putting that into action. That is what I did. I said, you know what? Have I been responsible over the things that God has given me as of now, as of today, as of before? And I honestly have to say, yes, God has been working on me. He's been preparing me for moments like this, not only physically, but spiritually. Also, have has He provided for me before when I was in lack? again, I have to say yes, he has. He has proven time and time again. Not the first time when I was, homeless and doing the right thing. He has proven to me when the enemy comes and when he tries to attack that he will cover his own if you follow his commandments. So I had to think about it. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna fall into the matrix of this whole shop thing of this whole crisis dilemma, especially being a person of color and a person of African or Caribbean descent. Most of you guys, and even some of the white people who are on here, what the struggle really is. Most Americans are facing that now, but a lot of them didn't. How the struggle is living a check, and you still made it. Some of your parents and your parents' parents have been through these situations, and they know how to make it. So it's nothing new to us. The thing that's really happening is that most of the rest of the world is coming to conclusion with that. They're coming in and seeing it. You know, uh, and that's excuse me, and that's what they're facing. People are preparing. When the CDC told us about how many bodies that they're anticipating, which has started out in November as zero point 0.5 million, and now within, I want to say, the next what we had one last week, and they said 1.2 million people are supposed to die in the U.S. and it's going to increase, but they're not saying what the deaths are going to be about. Which they know all of them, most of them are not going to be deaths of the virus, um, which a good amount is going to be out of there, but there are going to be some that are just people being reckless and not being prepared. The people who are the least most infected, the people that are in those hospitals, those sick patients, those the seniors, um, who else? The people who are um, looting, those are going to be those people, or the people who are in the crossfire are looting. The high end areas, because most people don't rob people who don't have anything. They're going to go to the area, if they're in a certain area, especially if those high end areas where they know it's going to be secure. Yeah, security will be there until they're lacking. So um, they know that. But anyhow, so that was my aha moment right there. I'm not gonna get fearful. I'm not gonna be ignorant as well, but I'm not gonna be fearful. We know that this time was coming. We are prepared for this. We are prepared for this. God gives us every single thing that we need. He gives us every single thing that we need. God is in control. I don't give a care what people want to say. They can say it was the devil or negative energy, whatever. Negative energy, whatever you call it, the devil, the minions of the devil, negative energy, whatever you want to call it, it has to get permission from the one true God to do anything, to operate out of this earth. The spirit has to ask God. God has to ordain that to go. So you being a believer is supposed to be your light to shine. You're supposed to follow his precepts. We walk by faith and not by sight. Not by what we see. Not Don't focus on what you see and all these people doing. You focus on the things that are not seen, the things that really matter. Not our physical bodies, but our soul. Be careful of the person. You have to be. Um, I've grown to a place to be not fearful of man and what they believe in you or what they think of you. This whole training process, I didn't even think I really had that issue of, worrying about what people believe in me. But honestly, I don't. I got to the point where I don't. God has groomed me to the point where I've been rejected so much. I've been talked about so much that I don't care. I don't care. I don't worry about what people can say and what they can do physically, because that's something that they have to deal with. But I'm in control of myself, and I care about who is in control of my life physically and in control of my soul. Because the person who's in control of my soul, I'm sure he has more power than the people who are around here whoop de whoop de whoop whoop de whoop. So and the powers, like I said, the powers that be have to ask my God. So you guys have to just remember that. Don't fall into the trap. Live your life. I'm not saying be dumb about it, but live your life. During these times, there are coming hard times, yes, But we, the children of light, are supposed to be prospering during this time. We done had our butts kicked. I done went through so much, y'all. And it's not because of that I was so good and I was so faithful to God. It is about according to his word and his purpose to what he has designed before the foundation of the world to fulfill his purpose. And I'm coming into agreement with that. You know what I'm saying? This is the time where we are going to shine our light and be prosperous. And it's going to show a great divide over the people who are saying they are of God and the people who are playing halfway. They saying that they of God, but they using dark forces. They doing other stuff. People who saying that they doing righteous, they want to do righteous, but they have wickedness in their heart. You know, so yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Hopefully, something I said or done will help you on your journey. Please stay tuned to Journey to Jerusalem, and you guys make sure that you guys stay in your homes. Um, I wouldn't even just stay protected. You know, stay protected spiritually and physically. Um, a lot of this stuff can be prevented if you guys stop going into the stores trying to shop. They're not telling you that. They're not telling you that. We do have a 2 week jump, so after this 2 weeks and almost our 2 weeks are up, we got a couple of more, a couple of more days. I think 5 more days before everything gets the the real boot, and they're trying to do it gradually without doing a big shut, for a minute. But yeah, you guys get prepared. Um, say your prayers. And take care. I will be making another video about what else I learned from the CDC too about this whole situation about the internet. So hopefully something I said or done will help you on your journey. Please stay tuned. Thank you.